Hi, welcome to cdtv.net. I'm your host, Katie Apicella. Today we're in Bridgehampton at the Carol M. Baldwin Breast Cancer Foundation. Next to me is Elizabeth Baldwin, her daughter, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the foundation and how it got started and your involvement in it as well. When was your mom diagnosed with breast cancer?
She was diagnosed in 1990. My brother was getting married about 6 weeks after her diagnosis, and she didn't know whether she wanted to do the surgery prior to the wedding or after. She chose to do it after the wedding in upstate New York, in Syracuse, and from that experience, she had found out from going to a plastic surgeon that there were many women that were not being supported emotionally from the diagnosis. So the plastic surgeon connected these 4 or 5 women together to start a support group. And then from the support group, it wound up that my mom started originally a chapter of the Susan G. Komen chapter in Syracuse, and then started mapping Long Island for individual residences to find out where the detection of breast cancer was in Long Island with a mapping project. And then after that mapping project, Stony Brook University approached my mother with wanting to raise funding and also calling a clinic, naming the clinic after my mother. So from that, there was a marriage between my mother and Stony Brook, and that was in 96. They named the clinic after her, and then she started raising funds for Stony Brook, and now we live in upstate New York also, so we've started to raise money. It's called the Carol M. Baldwin Breast Cancer Research Fund of Central New York, so we're starting to raise money up there because people up there have raised money without us even asking to give to my mom.
It's terrific. And, I mean, well, today we're here in this huge tent. I mean, it just shows the support and, I mean, outpouring there is, like, to support her as well. And I think that's pretty astounding as well.
I think too, when you come from Long Island, and then there's such a high incidences on Long Island, what's happened in our family is that I think there's a lot of awareness and a lot of education. And as a board and as a family, we chose to give the money to research because this disease is not being stopped. It's happening just as often, except you're finding it earlier and having the surgical procedures and the treatment that needs to be done. But you're still having 1 in 9 women are getting breast cancer. So our attitude is if we don't start we're calling it like the Boston Tea Party, if you don't start dumping shiploads or truckloads of funding into these researchers so that they can stop it to find the cure for it, then it's just going to keep continuing, because there's no difference. There's early detection and there's surgical procedures and treatment happening to these women, but the women are still getting it.
And has the research maybe found a little bit why this is happening, why it's still occurring? I mean,
well, I don't know if you found what the designated cause is. I think there's more than one reason behind it, and that's what we're trying to find out. Is it what we eat? Is it our hormones? We did a mapping project in Syracuse and compared it to the mapping project on Long Island, and there were a lot of things that came forth, that not that it was the statistics, but it was what we were finding it was affluent neighborhoods in both Long Island and in upstate New York. So what is that? I mean,
it definitely makes you raise a couple of eyebrows.
Is it chemicals? Is it food? Is it hormones? Is it people having children older in life? What is it? So that's what we're trying to find out. What is causing it?
It's very interesting. And how often do you have these charity events to raise the money?
Well, we have designated ones that we've done every year. This is the first time we're doing this event. We usually have a golf tournament. We have a Pink and Black, which is like an auction of people for lunch dates and dinner dates of celebrities. We have a lot of people, besides the organized events that we do, we have a lot of companies, or like today, they approached us and said, this car show said, we would like to raise money for your mom, which is a nice thing, because then they're taking on the responsibility of organizing the event, and then we come and work in a unit to make the event happen. And then the same thing with upstate New York. Upstate has been, like my brother too, like they'll go on shows, like my brother was on Fear Factor, and then he won $50,000 and he donated that back to my mom. My brothers have been on Hollywood Squares. They raised $200,000 and they donate that back to my mom.
Well, I think that it's very important that it's a family that is supporting this, and people like to see that, that there's such love and support and a close-knit, community. And then Long Island, too, is a lot of families, and I think they want to be a part of that as well, and they feel that. I mean, I'm sure it hits close to home with them.
I think being that we were born here and raised here, my mom lives here part-time, and she lives upstate part-time with me, but I think that it's because it's not, and it's all over the world, but I'm saying Long Island just so happens to have a high incidence of it, and because her family was born here, we chose to want to launch it from here, and then also to upstate wanted to, participate also because it's the same state. And I think that people associate, because my mom and dad were both just a kind of a regular family. My dad was a teacher in Massapequa. My mom was a mother of 6 children, and I think that people can associate, maybe not associate that she has 4 sons that do what they do, but associate with the fact that it's a very ordinary family, and my mom is very touchable. And I think, too, the nice thing about my mom's fund is that my mom is alive to show people. A lot of times when people memorialize people or have a foundation or a fund, it's when somebody unfortunately has died from the disease. And I found more people come up to me and say, your mom being alive makes me feel like I can live. A survivor will say that to me, which is, that makes them not have that fear and get upset over the fact that they can die because they've seen my mother live. And at 72, my mom certainly could be having a good time in the Bahamas sitting in a beach chair, and she gets up every morning to crusade with this effort with breast cancer, and I think that's a gift being 72 years old.
Well, I read up a little bit on her, and she said that she's now dedicating her life to fighting this cause. And I mean, you just have to wonder. I mean, she's so strong. I think also because of her children and her family.
Her statement that she makes is, "Together we will find the cure," and she underlines "will." Because she will, she will. This will keep going on. I mean, I hope my mother lives to 120, but this will go on forever in trying to find out what the cause of this is.
That's wonderful, and I'm also you have a lot of very well-known sponsors here today as well, and namely one of them is Kenneth Cole, who also just crusades for so many causes that are controversial that can't find causes as well, and I think that's really important. And I heard that actually that they have a table over there for their products, and I was wondering if you wanted to go over and maybe check out some glasses.
Sure.
We could try some on and have some fun with that. Okay. So we're going to head over there, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.